Good afternoon, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this afternoon, driver rushed to hospital after car overturns on Salt Marsh Main Road. A driver was rushed to the Falmouth Public General Hospital early Friday morning after sustaining injuries when the car he was driving overturned along the Salt Marsh Main Road in Trelawny. The accident occurred around 7 a.m. and resulted in long delays for morning commuters due to a buildup of traffic in the area. The driver, who was the sole occupant of the vehicle, was transported by a passing motorist to the hospital for treatment. His condition is not immediately known. Emergency personnel, including firefighters and the police, were on the scene. The Trelawny police have launched an investigation into the circumstances that led to the crash. Reputed gang member believed to be among two killed in police confrontation. Two alleged gunmen were shot and killed after they reportedly opened fire on police during a traffic stop on the Shooters Hill Main Road in 7 miles Bulby, St. Andrew, Friday morning. The men, whose identities remain unconfirmed up to press time, were killed after a brief gun battle, the police said. However, the police disclosed that preliminary intelligence is indicating that one of the gunmen is believed to be Marvin McLaughlin, otherwise called Indian, a reputed high-ranking member of the Toby Gully gang. McLaughlin was released from prison about 3 years ago after serving time for robbery and shooting. He was also charged in relation to the attempted robbery of a beryllium armored vehicle in Harborview, St. Andrew in 2024. He was further reported to be involved in the killing of a policeman's parents in St. Thomas last year. In relation to Friday's incident, reports are that around 2:30 a.m., the police were on mobile patrol when they signaled the driver of a green Nissan motorcar to stop. The car sped off and the armed men aboard immediately opened gunfire on the police. The fire was returned and the vehicle crashed into the embankment. The gunmen again fired at the police. There was a short exchange of gunfire, and when the shooting subsided, 2 men were found suffering from gunshot injuries. A Taurus 9mm pistol with 4 9mm cartridges was seized from the injured men. They were assisted by the police to the Kingston Public Hospital, where they were pronounced dead on arrival. Reputed top-tier member of York Avenue gang charged with murder. A reputed top-tier member of the York Avenue gang has been charged with murder and multiple firearm-related offenses after he was apprehended during a targeted police operation. Charged in connection with a murder committed on Muddy Ford Road in Kingston on Wednesday, October 16, 2024, is 31-year-old Nicola Reed, otherwise called Yankee. According to the police, Reed, who is unemployed and from Barton Road in West Chester, Portmore, St. Catherine, is a reputed top-tier shooter aligned to the York Avenue gang. He is also believed to have operated as a contractor killer within the Kingston metropolitan area and across the island, the police said. His arrest follows intense investigations, gathering of critical evidence, and a targeted police operation. His newest charges are in addition to other gun-related charges that he is already facing, with other matters under investigation. In the meantime, the St. Andrew South Police are urging anyone with information that can assist in this or other investigations involving Reed or otherwise to come forward. They are also assuring the public that all tips will be treated with the strictest confidence and reaffirming their commitment to building safer communities. Defense wraps up argument in Deane case. The defense attorneys for the 3 police personnel on trial in relation to Deane's death in 2014 today formally closed their case in the Westmoreland Circuit Court with no witnesses to be called to testify for the defendants. Attorney-at-law Martin Thomas, who is representing Corporal Elaine Stewart, and Constable Marlon Grant, and Attorney Dalton Reed, representing Constable Juliana Cleavon, informed the presiding High Court Justice Courtney Day that they would not be calling any witnesses for their clients and would instead wrap up their arguments for the jury. 2 witnesses had been expected to testify on behalf of Stewart and Grant today. However, with the defense team closing its case, those witnesses who were not present at court will not be required to testify. Meanwhile, the court has reserved a ruling on an outstanding point in the prosecution's evidence regarding a lockup administration policy that was referenced several times during the trial in relation to how inmates are treated. The prosecution had previously unsuccessfully sought to enter the policy into its evidence against the 3 defendants. Justice Day has adjourned the trial to Monday, when the prosecution will begin its closing arguments to the jury. Stewart, Cleveland, and Grant are jointly charged with manslaughter and misconduct in a public office arising from Deane's death on August 6, 2014, 3 days after he was beaten while in custody at the Barnett Street Police Station lockup for possession of a ganja spliff. Stewart is also charged with perverting the course of justice under allegations that she ordered the cleaning of the cell where Deane was beaten prior to the arrival of Indicom investigators. 2 arrested and charged following operation in Anoka Bay, St. Mary. 2 men were arrested and charged following a major multi-agency operation in Anoka Bay, St. Mary on Thursday. The police say Gavin Orlando Adams, otherwise called Halley, of Fort Stewart Enfield, was charged with possession of identity information. He is said to be the brother of the parish's most wanted, Gavin Adams, otherwise called Bones. The other man is 36-year-old Ricardo Williams, a mechanic of Portmore St. Catherine. He was charged with driving without a license. A third man was detained on reasonable suspicion of being involved in a shooting. The intelligence-led operation, which got underway about 4:30, targeted several known hotspots across Anoka Bay, including NCB, Port Arthur Lane, and Purcell Lane, as well as the Main Street Gibraltar housing scheme and the Crooked River. 23 people were taken into custody for questioning and processing. They were interviewed and released pending further investigation. The St. Mary Police are encouraging anyone with information that can assist with the capture of the parish's most wanted to contact them at 876-333-9530 or 876-994-4222 or Crime Stop at 311. Guys, thank you for watching. See you this evening at 6 p.m. for another news update.